Alright, so this video is one that I've been wanting to make ever since the new patch dropped. As you know, this patch came with a whole lot of changes to the game online as a whole. What changed? For one, singles is now completely different to what it used to be. In singles, now every character has the same amount of health, they have the same amount of damage. The only difference between character in terms of stats are the fact that defense still true. So what I mean by that, somebody like Whis will always take less damage than someone like, let's say for example, Skinny Roshi, base Roshi. But their damage is still the same. Like it's hard to explain. Just know that the higher the defense, the less damage they take. It doesn't really matter attack stats. Like a Roshi will do the same amount of damage as a Gogeta Blue will do on that Whis, just because of the defense stat. But the main changes that I want to talk about are the changes that they did to DP, because as you guys know, me and the community that I'm in, we primarily play DP. It's been a very controversial change for the game mode. I know that a lot of people think that the game mode is in a better state now. I personally disagree, and a lot of people in the community that I'm in also disagree. I do want to point out that the people that I am talking about are the top DP players on PC. So what did they do? In DP, previously, I mean, I will agree that pre-patch, characters like a Roshi, a Spopovich, they did insane damage. There is no reason for a character like Roshi or Spopovich to do like the same amount of damage that you would do with like a Goku or like a Super Saiyan Vegeta, something like that, like a 5 or 6 CP character. There's no reason for them to do that same amount of damage. But they changed it. What they did is they made it so low DP characters, or the lower the DP of a character, the less damage they do. It's like a multiplier. Which I think that's a great change, right? Them going and changing the damage that low DP characters do, that's great. Because that makes characters like Spopovich, like Roshi, less overpowered. Because, you know, like I said, they were extremely overpowered. But they changed the damage. They did the same thing, but for high DPs, but the other way around. So, for example, somebody like a Whis, like a Gogeta, like Gogeta 4, a Gogeta Blue, like a 10 DP character, they do like raid boss damage. It's insane. Like, in the background of this video, I'll have some clips. You guys will be seeing it. And for the most part, I'm using Gogeta Blue, right? I'll start with base Gogeta, and I go into Gogeta Blue. I just want to preface this. Pre-patch and previous patches, anything like before this, I have always used Gogeta. Base Gogeta has been my favorite character. I've been using him. He's been my favorite to play. Never, ever, ever, ever have I thought to myself, you know what? Gogeta's underpowered. He needs to do more damage. Even when I am fighting characters like a Spopovich or like a Roshi, I never thought, hey, I wish my Gogeta just did more damage. The only thought that ever came through my mind was, okay, Spopovich and Roshi, they do too much damage. Take away that. Which they did. That's a great change. But now, it's a thing that game developers do nowadays, where whenever they make a change into a game mode or a game, they always go into the extreme of one direction and they never find a true balance. Like in DP now, right? You have like crazy high DPs do crazy damage, and low DPs do nothing. So, who got impacted the most from this? I think the characters that were the most impacted from this are your mid DP characters, like your Goku's, like a space Goku, even a Super Saiyan Goku, Vegeta, some of the middle like characters like Frieza. Those are the characters that took the biggest hit, because for one, they take insane amount of damage from characters like a Gogeta, like a Whis, like a Beerus, and they just don't have the output to do the same amount of damage back, or even get close to. Because like, if you're playing like a character, say you're running a team and you're on a run like Cell and like Frieza in your team, and your opponent is running a Gogeta team, like just Gogeta, and they turn it to Gogeta Blue. You know how many neutrals you have to win as either Cell or Frieza to even do a little bit of what that Gogeta does. Because he starts as a 7 and he goes to a 10, and it's super easy to get to Gogeta Blue. It takes nothing. It's just 2 costs. It's super easy. You have to win neutral a billion times to do that, like, let's say 20,000, 30,000 damage. Well, when a Gogeta Blue can do all that in, like, one string, right? A good player that knows how to like scale combos in Sparking Zero can do 30k damage with a fusion and like, I don't know, one combo, right? Or like one rush super. Like one rush super that's boosted with a fusion character like Gogeta, that'll do like 15k, 15, 16k. Whether it's Gogeta Blue or Gogeta 4, it's crazy. But yeah, like the mid DP characters are the ones that took the biggest hit, in my opinion. And which is sad because they were fine, right? Those types of characters were fine. They were balanced. They did what they had to do. Again, they had the right idea in nerfing the low DPs, which I think they needed to be nerfed. Spopovich and Roshi, they needed a nerf. They were too strong. Because pre-patch, all you have to do really, like with the previous WinCon that just passed, or it's still the same WinCon, but the last patch that just passed, like people like in the top of DP, they would run a superhero Gohan, a like a fusion or something with a high DP next to him. They won't even touch those characters, and they would only play your Spopovich and your Roshi to do the most damage, right? Which, you know, is silly. That needed to be changed. There's no reason for people to only play their 2 DP characters. Again, it's been fixed, great. But now they made the fusions too strong, and that's just ridiculous. Next point I want to talk about is super counters, right? Like, people know that I'm pretty good at super counters, right? I've always thought that they were, like, they were important in the game. There's people that think that they are too strong, right? Which, I mean, I do agree, they are very strong. And they've been really, really, really strong, right? Because they can bail you out of any situation just by pressing up and square. But now, I think super counters are stronger than, or more important than they've ever been. But the problem with that is that this game is very, very inconsistent in terms of connection, right? Super counters are like a frame perfect input that you have to press as soon as your opponent hits you, whether it be in a knockback chain or mid combo, which is the most important. And if you can't find that timing because your opponent is either on Wi-Fi or has really bad internet or their computer frame lags like crazy, you're just going to get demolished if they have something like a high DP fusion. Because how are you supposed to get out of their combos, right? All they have to do is put you in one like combo with a Gogeta 4 or like a Beast Gohan or anything like that, and you're done. Especially, again, if you're using those mid DPs, you're just going to get deleted. You'll be seeing gameplay in the background. I'm using some high DP characters, and occasionally against some characters like Superhero Gohan, you know, Goku's, whatever, and they just get deleted. Like these high DPs delete those characters. I know that the whole argument that I've been seeing people say is, oh, but this, don't you want lore accuracy in the game? I mean, it's cool, right? Like, I agree, like a Beast Gohan, a Gogeta, whatever, they should be doing good damage, but they shouldn't, we're not playing a raid boss type of game mode, right? There is no reason for you to just pick one character and delete everybody no matter what. Like, you do want some balance in the game, right? Especially when we're going into the new ranked season, you do want some balance. Because, I'll tell you right now, the ranked meta, it's going to be people running Gogeta, people running Whis, people running Gogeta 4, right? DP is now the new singles, because pre-patch and singles, all people ran MUI, Whis, Gogeta Blue, Gogeta 4. That's all people played, right? Now, singles is a little bit more like old DP, which is kind of funny, because since they changed the way that characters play and their HP, people are more incentivized to use some of their more favorite characters because, you know, there's no drawback to it. Like, you can use your mid Goku, you can use your Super Saiyan God Goku, whatever, and compete against a character like a Beast Gohan or something because they have the same amount of health, the same amount of damage. But in DP, put your God Goku against the Beast Gohan, what's going to happen? Your Goku's going to get deleted in like a combo or two, and Gohan's not going to take any damage, or barely any damage. I do want to bring up an example by a YouTuber. I'll put up a clip here in a second.
Complain about this to High Hell, saying, oh, 90% of the roster in DP Battle Mode is gone. You can't actually play them. You can still play them if you're good at the game.
Okay, so that was a clip by Ceros TV. In this video, he goes through the changes that they did to the game, and for the most part, he likes the changes, right? I do disagree with what he said about DP. He mentions that like people are saying, oh, 90% of the roster is now like it's unviable because of the high DPs, and his argument is like, oh, if you're still good at the game, you could still use these high DP characters. I mean, in a way, it's true, You can still use him, but that doesn't mean you're going to do good with him, even if you are a good player, right? What happens if you put a good player versus another good player, and you want to use somebody like, I keep saying, like your Goku, right? Or like your Vegeta, and your opponent is using a Gogeta 4, or like a regular base Gogeta and goes into Super Saiyan Blue. You're going to get deleted. Your character's just going to die instantly in one combo. Like, it's not a good argument, right? Just, again, pre-patch, you could, if you're good at the game, you could use your Gokus, your Vegetas, and compete against people that want to run like high meta teams, like let's say a MUI, a Topo, anything that's high DP. You could compete, and you know it just came down to skill, winning neutral, and all that kind of stuff. Now it's just, oh, I pick high DP, I win. It's not a good argument. I don't like challenging people. Like, I think it's a little bit cringy. But just because of the state of the game, I'm willing to challenge anybody who says, okay, let me use a mid DP character, you use a Gogeta, and I bet I can beat you. You're not. Even if it's not just me, just anybody that's going to be using those types of characters, you're just not going to win. You're going to get absolutely deleted by the fusion damage. You'll be seeing clips. There's going to be one particular clip in this video, just to show the disparity in damage. This clip is provided by Core. He's one of the members in our community. Where he's comparing the damage that a Roshi does on a Whis, where he hits like 70 plus hits or whatever on a Whis, and does like, you know, a little bit of damage, and then that Whis just goes back and does it in like a full string and just kills the Roshi. Which, again, Roshi should not be doing the same damage as Whis, but Whis shouldn't be going around deleting people. Whis is now the meta, I think, because even pre-patch, Whis was probably one of the most meta characters just because of the fact that he had crazy damage, and he could just heal. He could still do the same thing, but now he does like twice the amount of damage. It's absolutely ridiculous. DP is the new singles. Singles is now, unironically, probably more balanced than DP. I'm still gonna stick with DP. I'll just have to adapt to it, but I really, really, really hope that the game is in a test phase for now. The ranked season starts by the time you'll be seeing this video. Probably it may have already started, or it starts in like 24 hours. I hope that they change it. If not now, soon. Hopefully by the next patch, which should be in the next coming month or two. Because it's overtuned. It's ridiculously overtuned. Like I said, just Spopovich and Roshi and those high low DPs should not be doing the damage. Your high DP should not be doing that crazy amount of damage either. There needs to be a balance that developers need to find. I hope that, you know, my video, hopefully some other people in the community that share the same sentiment, do videos like this, or, you know, post online or whatever, just to try and get the developers their attention, or just other people to kind of just, you know, explain to them whether, you know, because some people, like, there may be some ignorance, right? Maybe they don't play the game, or maybe they played the game in the past. Because I know a lot of the Spark and Zero community played the game on, like, when it released, they thought it wasn't great, and then they quit. And then these same people come back whenever there's a patch. They play it for a day or two, and they're like, oh, the game is great, the game is fantastic. And then they go into online when people are really, like, people that are good at the game, that haven't quit the game, where they've learned how to play it, and they know what to use, what's strong, like, to use whatever's the meta at the time. They play it, and then they automatically are like, oh, this game is cheesy, this game is trash, and then they quit, right? It's the same amount of people that come in and just say that the game is great when it's not, right? But whatever. I hope they change it. If you have any other thoughts, let me know. I know that I yapped a lot in this video. It's just that I really like this game, and I know a lot of people do. And seeing DP where it's at right now, it's just not great. It's sad because it's the only game mode that I like. I've never liked singles. I still don't like singles. It's a little bit better now, but I don't know. I just don't have fun with it. I prefer playing DP. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, let me know. I'll be trying to make some more videos if they don't change it, talking about like what you should be using, what you shouldn't be using. I don't want to have to make those videos because I don't want the meta to stay like it is right now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know your thoughts down below. See ya.